Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. My name is Monica Campana. Welcome to the Wellness Hub. And today we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Jen Gaudet, and she's in New Orleans. And she's going to tell us everything about, well, not everything because we don't have a lot of time. Usually our interviews run for 20 minutes, but she has had a wonderful life and she has an amazing background. And now let me see, we want to know everything about what she's doing to help people around the world. Jen, thank you for being here. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Moni. It's so exciting to be here with you. And asking me about all the things is a little scary.
I know. Not everything, but let's see a little bit about your background. I know that you studied sports, that you were an athlete. You were an amazing athlete, and then slowly you went into sports medicine. So let's start from that.
Yeah, so I come from the athletic mindset, which is really interesting. If you look at all of the elite athletes, they have a couple things in common, right? Number one, they never give up, right? The athletic mindset is that they never give up. And two, they are always learning and growing. So that's why they have coaches. They have all kinds of coaches, right? Elite athletes may have anywhere from 7 to 9 coaches. They have a head coach, a skills coach, a strength and conditioning coach, many of them a nutritionist, a lot of different things. And they're always looking at how to get an edge. And so because I had that kind of mindset, even at a young age, I knew I wanted to be in sports medicine. So I did all the things. I went to school, and, for those of you who aren't familiar, in the 1990s, women in sports medicine weren't really a big thing. It was a very male-dominated field. And obviously I am a female. So, I applied that growth mindset to what do I need to do to give myself an edge? How do I get to work with elite athletes? Because that's who I want to serve. And long story short, I went above and beyond. I took 11 continuing educations my very first year out of school. You don't even need to take one your first year of school. So if you're thinking, oh, overachiever, yeah, that's what athletes are. We're overachievers. And I positioned myself and I went and gained mentorship by some of the top people in the profession. And that literally gave me that edge, just like the athlete's edge to get to your next PR, to get to that next level in sports. The same thing applies in business. And I've kind of applied that all the way through as I became a performance specialist. I really am a human performance specialist. Between the sports medicine and all the different courses and coaching and all the things, really it boils down to what is your purpose? And whether you're an entrepreneur, an athlete, or just, a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't matter. But your purpose is yours. No one else has that. It's the reason that you wake up in your big why. So all of us have that, whether we're athletes or not. And our performance is based on a foundation of purpose. And then there's kind of 4 strong pillars. One of those pillars is our physiology. So are we sleeping? Are we fueling our body? Are we moving our body? Are we hydrating? Are we managing our stress? Because if we don't have that and we're not healthy, we can't show up. An athlete can't come to the game and not have eaten or not have slept, because then he or she won't perform. So the same rule applies in everything in life. So we have the physiology, then we have the psychology piece, right? And that's our mindset. That's our ability to get out of our own way and stop self-sabotaging. It's our ability to move through our fears, because newsflash, every human being has fears. All of us, it doesn't matter what level of success we have, we all have fears. And it's how we move through them that sets us apart with our performance. So the psychology, the physiology, then is our productivity. And I don't want you to think, oh, I worked 6 hours and did 8 hours worth of work in 6 hours. Don't think about that. Think about efficiency. Am I able to do this faster, smarter, more effectively? How effective are we? Are we focused? Are we doing the things that are going to give us the edge? And don't think about what's going to give us the 99%. Think about what that 1% is, because if you can move the needle 1%, that's the difference between winning the gold medal and not even getting to the Olympics in some of our events. Right? So it really is about how productive are we? Are we training smarter, not harder, and dialing that in every area? And finally, it's leadership, management, and people skills. Because I know this was kind of a surprise, but an elite athlete, to get the opportunity, needs to have people skills. They have to be able to receive criticism and implement it. They need to be able to communicate with their coaches, communicate with their teammates, communicate with people effectively. And that's a part of self-leadership. And of course, walking the talk, right? So that's kind of like my body of work has been human performance.
I lost you for 1 second. Let's see what happened here. Guys.
So it looks like, there you are.
Yes, we froze. It was so amazing. The information that you just gave, the computer went like, everything went like that. But you said the four pillars, right, of your, in a nutshell, of what you are doing and how you work with your clients. Now, how can they reach you? Through Facebook? Through, we put all the different links on the post, but what is the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so message me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or hit me up on Clubhouse. Those are the easiest ways. And then of course the website, which is like on my screen, but it's jengaudetcoaching.com. Those are all easy ways to get me. And
you have like a initial call, like a consultation call, free consultation call, or?
Yes, absolutely. We do. And it actually, I have a team as well. And so if either myself or one of my team members performs that first consultation, because that way we can serve more people, right? Our goal is not to sell people. Our goal is to move someone forward, to help them gain clarity, to help them break through, and to have an easy, yes, this is absolutely my next step, that 1% to move the needle, because we're not for everyone and everyone is not for us, but that call does two things. It gives them a way to move forward regardless. And then if we are right and they do take action, then we can follow up and talk about what it looks like if you want to be a part of our mastermind or you want to be a part of our coaching program.
Oh, I see. So they go to the next level. And you have this CEO Mondays behind you. Is it on Clubhouse? Is it on Facebook? What is CEO Mondays?
So there's two different things. CEO Mondays is a conversation we have on Facebook. It's also what I call my television show. So I have a television show, CEO Mondays with Jen. So it's kind of informative and an interactive conversation. And then we take it to the next level because I have a CEO Monday mastermind, which is offline. It's not on social media. It's a Zoom call with business owners where we get together and we dive deep into how to move our businesses and our lives powerfully forward each and every week.
Wow, that's wonderful. So if they, let's say they take the call, you take the call, and then they get into a training session, everybody's different, right? Don't you have different packages for different people?
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, when you think about coaching, there's different levels, because you can always get online knowledge, but knowledge is only part of the equation, right? In a group setting, what you're getting knowledge. And then in our mastermind, we have what's called laser coaching. So we get a real quick fire, like 2 to 3 minutes per person. What do we need to do to get you moving forward, to keep you moving forward? It's more accountability. But to really get that individual deep dive, just like with an athlete, they have a skills coach and a strength coach. We would work with them on a one-on-one basis, and we would look at where you are. What is it that you need? How do we become the CEO of your life? Because we can't even talk about business or career or anything else if we don't talk about, are you sleeping? Are you eating properly? What are you doing for you? And that really is individual, because each and every one of us, we have different fears, we have different challenges, we have different experiences, and to bring that all together so we can powerfully move forward requires that additional individualized approach.
Wow, and that's the mastermind group.
Yeah, so the mastermind group is more of accountability and a little bit of that special touch. The real individualization happens when you do one-on-one sessions, because then we can deep dive. Like a one-on-one session is like a deep dive into you, your business, where you are. The mastermind is a group of us coming together, and we have the content and we have the laser coaching to keep moving forward. It's support, it's accountability.
And that's once a week, right? The mastermind. We froze again. I tell you, you are like, zzz, you know, like all these sparks come out. And so the mastermind is once a week, more or less?
Yes.
Okay.
We meet on Mondays. We start strong.
All right. Yes. For the week. That's wonderful. Now, you are a speaker. Of course, you have spoken in many big events, right? In the past, before this pandemic happened, right? Physically, you've been.
Yes. I've actually been on 5 continents. I'm pretty proud of that.
Wow. And you also have a book. You wrote a book. What's the name of the book?
Yeah. So Over My Dead Body, The Art of Saying No, a step-by-step journey towards boundaries that stick. It's a catchy title. It's all about why you should start saying no, which is really saying yes to what's most important to you. Remember that focus thing?
Yes, and we were talking about that, about boundaries and how important it is, especially now, right? You were saying that people are, tell us a little bit about that. Right now.
So, boundaries were always a hot topic because my book was written in 2019. It was a bestseller in 2019. And since pandemic, we went into a new way of living. We were some of us were already working from home, but most people ended up working from home. And the boundaries between work and life kind of blurred. And what we've found, if you've been looking at any of the articles coming out of Harvard Business or Forbes or any of those kind of articles, you see that we're working more and there's less of that boundary. And now we're shifting back, and some of us are moving to a hybrid where sometimes we're in person and sometimes we're at home. So learning to draw that firm boundary so that you can protect yourself and fill your cup is so incredibly important, because we can't pour from an empty cup. It's so cliche, but if we're depleted, nobody gets the best of us. We can't serve in our families, our friends, our communities, and our world. And so right now more than ever, as we make that transition to hybrid work or going back to some form of socialization, it's very important to know what our most important priorities are and to schedule some non-negotiable time for us to fill our cups so that we can honor those priorities. Because what happened in the pandemic was people realized that maybe work wasn't their whole #1 priority. And they learned a little bit more about living and family time and some of the other things that are important to them. So really, boundaries are about saying no to the things that are not in alignment with our priorities, and then setting up those non-negotiables and saying yes to us and what are our priorities.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Just the other day, I went into my calendar because it's getting really filled up with all different kinds of interviews. And I said, I put exactly that. I said, the time for me, because otherwise, it gets out of hand. And so this is what you really focus. That's amazing. And so let's see what else. Oh, you have been working on Clubhouse a lot, right? Clubhouse is the new hot thing. What do you think about Clubhouse?
I love it. I absolutely love it because it allows us to have these kind of conversations with people all over the world. So what I used to get from travel and conversations and culture and learning other perspectives, it's like real time on that app. And so I really feel like it's brought us together for more insightful conversations, and we can really collaborate a whole lot more. I mean, it's a little scary. You do need to set a boundary around it because it's addictive. When I first joined, 20 hours on Clubhouse in a row, that's not a good idea.
No, absolutely not. No, it's interesting because every time it's like, okay, Saturday, no, I'm not going to get into it. And then you just read one title and you're like, oh, this is really interesting. Then you click and you're like, oh, this is so interesting. And it's amazing. It's amazing how, yes, it can draw you in, but at the same time, you have to set boundaries, like you are saying. So that's interesting. And you have a big event. Let's see if I didn't freeze this time. You have a big mental health summit coming up.
Yeah,
right?
So Shannon Abbott and a couple of other players on Clubhouse, along with myself, have the mental health summits. It's we put one on about a month ago, and it was so phenomenal to create that safe space because, as you can imagine, with pandemic, mental health has come to the forefront. It's really been challenged. All the things that we're struggling with before pandemic now are kind of aired out in the open. because they were exacerbated. And so April 7 to 10, I'm co-hosting that the second mental health summit on Clubhouse. And I'm really excited because I'm going to be speaking on peak performance, athletes, and mental health, because it really is something that was kind of taboo to talk about for a long time. And it applies to everyone, it applies to everyone, but it's a safe space. And we have a variety of speakers from all over the world in a variety of expertise that are coming to just really share and open up that space so that we can together lift one another up. And of course, like one of the things that Shannon is very important to her, she's the one who kind of masterminded the whole thing, is that we have a Linktree that has all kinds of resources. No matter where people are in the world, they will have access to ways to actually keep the conversation moving. And if they get triggered, then we have resources for them so that they can follow up, so they can actually be taken care of in the way that they need.
Get help. Yes.
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 That's well, I wish you amazing luck, and it's going to be quite interesting. I see the power, I feel the power of Clubhouse every day, and it's an amazing place to bring to help people from all over the world and bring us together in one click right there live. It's amazing. And let's see. Well, so do you have let's see, 3 tips? I know it's I should say 1, but let's say 3. If you can get to 3 tips for us to start tomorrow morning. Actually, I don't like to say tomorrow, today. Actually, now, this is what we need to think, right? To improve our lives from now on.
Yeah, so I'm going to play on the boundaries piece, because that's something that just keeps coming up like every single day. So the first thing is know your priorities. Write them down. What is your deep why? What is your purpose? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And what are your top priorities in your business or your life right now? And write them down. And then second, you're going to open your calendar and you're going to look, and everything on your calendar that does not fit one of those top 3 priorities, circle it. And then cancel one immediately. Cancel one. If it's not in alignment with your priorities, it's not saying yes to you. Why? Well, because if you were spending your time on things that are not your priority, you're not giving your full presence. And everybody can sense it. Like, have you ever been in the meeting where people keep checking their watch? You know they're not present. And so that way you can be fully present and devoted to what your priorities are right now, because each and every one of us has a unique gift, and we show up in the world in our way. And in order for me to show up and to impact the 1 million entrepreneurs I want to impact, I need to say no to some things. So I need to say yes to the things that are in alignment with my top priorities so I can continue to move forward. So that's what I would recommend anyone do, that they could do immediately. And then when you cancel that appointment, you say no in a way that serves everyone. So it might be like me saying, hey, Monica, I see that we have an interview scheduled at 2 o'clock. Unfortunately, that really is not going to work for me right now. I cannot be fully present for that. Have you considered Paula? Paula would be a great person for your spot because she's 100% in alignment with what you're trying to do. So I've said, thank you for inviting me. I'm sorry I can't do it. Set the boundaries and given another resource that can insert in there and just continue to move forward. But the reality is that if we're not going to be 100% present, we don't have any business showing up to that meeting because we're not serving anyone.
Absolutely. And you have to be in the now. You need to be in the now, and you need to be present, and to be able to help and truly serve. So that's an amazing tip, amazing tips that you've been giving. First class performance. So you're a performance coach, life performance coach. This is your main.
I am a human performance specialist.
Yeah, so human performance specialist. Yes. And well, we have let's see, unless we have our time is kind of up, but I would love to have you again, because there's so much to talk about with you, Jen, and time just flies every time. So I'm gonna send you lots of good energy for your special mental health summit coming up. And thank you for what you're doing, because you're helping and changing people's lives all over the world, and keep doing it. And I hope to see you soon.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Thank you so much, Moni. It's always
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Until next time, Jen Gaudet.